Welcome back, Book Dragons. I'm glad you're here. It's that time of year again where we observe the ritual of the mid-year Freakout tag. I am so looking forward to gushing about some of the books I've read so far this year. Before we get to it though, please make sure that you like the video if you enjoy it. Please subscribe to my channel to get more of my content and join my Discord as well. I would love to have you. And stay till the end of the video because at the end, I will be drawing names out of a hat for my patrons. And one of those names will get to pick the next book I read for this next upcoming quarter. So stick around, that is coming up at the end, okay? And let's get right to the questions here. Here's my eyes, got those on, here we go. All right. The best book you've read so far. Well, that is easily Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. That so far is my favorite book of the year, and I just absolutely loved it. Such a warm, delightful, cozy fantasy. Low stakes, not much going on, just a lot of fun. Celebrating some popular fantasy tropes and celebrating lattes as well. So, you know, coffee shop environment. Who doesn't love that? So, yeah, that is the best book I have read for the year so far. The next question is, best sequel you read so far? This was a tough one because I haven't really read many sequels this year, with the exception of Dresden. And you guys know I gush about Dresden all the time. And I read some of the Expanse novels. But I think my favorite sequel has to be The Farthest Shore. That is book 3 in the Earthsea cycle. It's by far the most philosophical of the books so far, and I really like that about it. And I'm just loving Earthsea in general, but I think The Farthest Shore is probably my favorite so far. Yeah, so really good stuff. I hope you guys get to read Earthsea if you get a chance. The next question on the list is a new release that you haven't read yet but want to, and this isn't a super new release. It's been out for a few months, but this is The World We Make by N.K. Jemisin. This is book 2 in her Great Cities duology, so it's the final book. And I read The City We Became just recently, and I really liked it, so I'm looking forward to reading the final book and seeing where it goes. The next question is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I actually have two for this. One of them is a Kickstarter I participated in, and that is for The King Killing Queen by Sean Speakman. I'm really excited to see where this story goes. The premise sounds really interesting. And I've read a lot of Sean Speakman's books already, so I'm very familiar with his writing style. I think he's a great author. So I'm looking forward to more from him. I can't wait. And the other one, and you will probably not be surprised at this, seeing as how much I gushed about Legends and Lattes, that would be Bookshops and Bone Dust. That is the prequel to Legends and Lattes, and that comes out sometime in November, I think. So I'm super excited. I can't wait. The next question is your biggest disappointment. That was Peter Pan, guys. Peter Pan was a huge disappointment for me. Unfortunately, I really wanted to like it. I do like the movie, and I think they did a good job of adapting the book into the movie, and, well, the Disney movie anyway. I mean, I've seen some other adaptations, but that's probably the closest one, I guess. Yeah, I just wasn't a fan of the book, and this was the first time I'd read it. I figured it's a classic. I have to at least give Peter Pan a try, because I really liked the story. So, yeah, it wasn't that great. But I know why a lot of people love it. I can definitely see it. The next question is your biggest surprise, and that would be Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson. First book in Mistborn Era 2. And I was really impressed with this book, guys. I like it so much better than Mistborn Era 1. And Mistborn Era 1 wasn't bad, but So far, Mistborn Era 2 is starting off on just the right foot to make me super into it. So yeah, that was my biggest surprise, because most people I hear from don't really like Mistborn Era 2 that well. Not as well as the first era, so I'm one of the exceptions. The next one is favorite new author, debut or new to you. I have to say my favorite new author is Philip Chase. The Way of Edan was a fantastic novel. I'm enjoying The Prophet of Edan so far. Good stuff. I'm very much enjoying his writing style and the kind of storytelling that he brings to the table. Newest fictional crush. Well, that would be Chrysala from White Sand. I think she's a very attractive woman, and I think she's a very competent and intellectually engaging woman, and so yeah, as far as new crushes, I like Chrysala. She's a good pick for a fictional crush. Set that there. Newest favorite character. So I went back and forth on this. I knew that it was going to be someone from Legends and Lattes, but I wasn't quite sure. I kind of went back and forth. I really like Viv, but at the end I settled on Thimble. He's a ratkin, and he is a phenomenal baker. He just bakes all kinds of pastries. He's just an endearing character. He's so warm and funny and quirky, and I just absolutely loved him. So yes, Thimble has it for me on my new favorite character. A book that made you cry. Oh, that would be Battleground, guys. Battleground killed me. Especially with one character in particular. Oh man, that's a tissue box read right there. Sorry, and if you're not aware, Battleground is the final book so far in the Dresden Files by Jim Butcher. But oh boy, guys, I had to take several breaks in that book just to grab my tissue box. It was bad. Bad in a good way, but it was bad. Yeah. Book that made you happy. And that would be Odd and the Frost Giants by Neil Gaiman. I love this book, guys. This is such a great read. It's a quick little middle grade adventure about a boy who has to go off and take care of a frost giant threat, and he gets to meet Odin and Thor and a bunch of others along the way. So I thought it was a lot of fun, and it's a really quick read, guys. You should really check it out. Most beautiful book that you bought or received this year. And that would be Children of Dune by Frank Herbert. Third book in the Dune saga. I did an unboxing video for this a while back. This and Dune Messiah. And Dune Messiah is beautiful, but I think this one takes the cake as far as my favorite, just because the colors really work so well together. It's beautiful. It just pops off the cover, and it's got beautiful interior cover work as well. The sprayed edges are gorgeous. All around a magnificently beautiful book. So yeah, I'm very happy with this. Okay, what book do you need to read by the end of the year? Well, this one is the same as last year, guys. At this time last year, I said I needed to read Malice by John Gwynne. And I still need to read Malice by John Gwynne. That hasn't changed. So I just left it on there. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's the same. We'll just leave that question the way it is. And then favorite video you've done this year, and that would be my review of Legends and Lattes. I just had so much fun talking about that book. That's one of the few videos that I didn't even write down any notes for. Like I don't script my videos really, but I do usually write down some notes for the book I'm reviewing. But that book, guys, it was just burned in my memory so deeply that I didn't need notes. I just got to gush and talk about my favorite book of the year so far. And yeah, so that was my favorite in terms of how fun it was and how good it made me feel. And yeah, so that's my favorite video. I'll link that in the cards at the end if you want to check it out. That'd be awesome. And that is the end of the tag. I'm not going to tag anybody. A lot of people are doing this time of year. A lot of people have already done it. So I would love to know, though, what are some of your answers to these questions if you're watching this video? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know what some of your answers are. That's the end of the tag. Now stay here. I'm not done. As you know, if you've checked out my Patreon, I give my patrons the perk of picking a book for me to read every quarter. So, I have made up my little papers with all the names on it. And I'm going to put them into my hat here. Last time I spun a wheel, and that just seemed kind of, I don't know. I mean, it worked out fine. It was just like, why go to all that work when I can just put names in a hat and shake it around and pick names out of a hat and see who gets it, right? So, okay, here we go. I am doing my patron pick. And as you can see, I can't see what I'm getting out. And let's see who won this time. Aha! Josephina is one of my patrons, and she gets to pick a book for me to read. So, Josephina, if you are watching this, I will be reaching out to you, and we'll talk about it, and you can decide what book you want me to read. And if you would like to be on this list in the future to pick a book for me to read, and I've got other perks as well on my Patreon, check out my Patreon. Link is in the description below. And that is it for this video, guys. I hope you read more books, and I will talk to you soon. Bye now.